This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A judgy blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live. We have a great show for you today. Kevin Frandsen is going to join us from our nation's capital. Franny, our buddy, one of the great San Jose State Spartan baseball players, now doing television for the Nats. We're going to have Hot Take Tuesday. You got a hot take? You got a hot take today?
It's on Nick Kurtz, actually. Is that too chalk? It's actually something no one's really talking about.
You mean the guy that got Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month?
It's pretty impressive, but yeah, it has something to do with him that no one's talking about.
The only way it wouldn't be chalk is if you had a negative on Nick Kurtz.
You know, I'm usually negative, but this one isn't negative.
How's my Aaron Boone looking?
Well, you doubled that. We both said no with the Yankees.
How's my Aaron Boone being relieved of his duties within 48 hours of their last out?
Hey,
looking.
It's right there in front of us. As Aaron Boone would say. It's right there in front of us.
Aaron Judge making his return today. Baseball Network turned into Yankee Network again today. It was awful. What else do we have? Eric Martin's going to join us. I know there was some defensive snafus there against the D-backs, but defense for the Athletics has been better. Eric Martin's the full interview will be on today's show.
Correct. Yeah, 5 errors now after the All-Star break. That's the second fewest in baseball. Only the Braves have committed less, and they have 4. But going into this weekend, it was only 3, and then obviously the 2-1 game kind of ruined that. But still second best since the All-Star break. Pretty impressive.
Yep. Very, very good. Very good. Still, they've won. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games. Now it's a great road trip, a chance to actually pile up some wins here against the Nationals with no, there's not a day off. So we have an early game on Thursday, and then over the weekend in Baltimore, 2 teams that obviously the Nationals have been in a rebuild, not going their way as they fired Mike Rizzo. They fired manager Dave Martinez. So the rebuild not going in the right direction. And then, of course, the Baltimore Orioles. They were looked to be one of the best teams in baseball in the American League, and just a disaster season. So going to be an interesting road trip for the Athletics in D.C. and Baltimore. Baltimore is just like, it's like a 45-minute train ride up from D.C. It's a great train ride if you ever have an opportunity to do it. The Super Scout Shooty Babitt will be with me this week on NBC. We'll be together the next 2 days. I'll be off Thursday. Then we'll take it through the rest of the weekend. The reason why we're having it on early is right before our show, your boss, Dave Feinstein, joined us. Well, didn't join us. We talked to him, and he gave me incredible lowdown on how the entire deal went down with the Padres. He really educated me on how things work in places like the Dominican Republic, which was truly eye-opening. And because we wanted to interview somebody down in the DR who had watched DeVries grow up, who's been scouting him. I was informed that the Padres have had him locked up since he was like 12 years old. I didn't realize this is how it goes down. And he said to me, you need to talk to Shooty Babitt. He's the one that's had eyes on him. So that's why you're here. What do we know? What do you see? How do you feel about this kid who was the number 3 overall prospect in all of baseball?
First of all, that's very kind for Dan Feinstein to
I call him Dave, didn't I? Dan.
My name, especially in this process, because as a scout, it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of this type of exercise as a scout. My 32 years as a scout, there are not many times that you get a call based on the information that you're able to provide for organization from what you've seen. Obviously, you've put in a report that speaks volumes, but when it's time to make a call, the people in charge. I have to pay homage to a group of guys that have worked very hard. It took a lot of people to make this decision. Sometimes they're made out of desire. Most of the time they're made out of necessity. So it's probably a good time to talk about it now because there was a lot of emotions involved during the time of the trade. And I just want to congratulate everybody. But yeah, every year when I go out, it seems like there is one particular guy that stands out to me that I go, whoo-wee. And typically he ends up being on the top of my list when the year or by the time that trade deadline gets there. And I think about the Bobby Witt Jr.'s, the Dela Cruzes of late, the Mike Trouts, the Jimmy Rollins, that just make you go, wow. And they do things that you can't really describe it. You need to see it. And you know how I told you about my receipts and my optometrist trips and stuff. I make sure that I see what I saw because you go back and you do your work. But when you talk about debris, we're talking about a talent. We're talking about a guy who has presence, skill, ability, love for the game, incredible instinct. 18 years old, playing like a man in a league with guys that are 3 or 4 years older than he is. And you're talking about a love for the game. How about a guy that gets traded on a Thursday night and can he drive over to his new team so he can be in the lineup the next day?
Filled up the gas tank and was there ready to rock.
So there is nothing not to like. I'm not a projection guy on things that I can't see because I don't believe in make believe. But when you look at the body and you look at the host of tools and the skill set and the presence and the way that he goes about his work, I think was even more impressive to me because for a guy that has so much joy and youthfulness out on the field and embracing everybody, you could tell he loves being in the middle of everything. When you watch him go about his work, it's in a meticulous way. The ground balls, the way that he feels the ball, the way that he makes his touch throws. I mean, there is intention on being great with everything that he does, and you just don't see that in a young player. So the A's got a really good player that has an opportunity to be part of something real big that's growing. And as long as they continue to be able to acquire players like this, you'll take your chance. You got to sign a zillion of them to get one like this. And maybe this was 999, close to the next thing that's a zillion. So
his comp is what we've heard, Francisco Lindor, which is an incredible comp. Just when you watched him play and you say, okay, you threw out some guys out there who are Hall of Famers, guys who are all-stars, guys who are MVPs. What was exactly did you see as a switch hitter? Was it pop? Was it speed? What did you see that made you go, this guy's different?
First of all, on the speed, it's not a plush runner, but he plays faster than everybody else. And what I mean by that, instinctively, he'll make plays when you look up like Derek Jeter being in a place that you're looking at the guy that's making a play because you're not even thinking there's going to be a play here. And you look up, there's someone to make the play. And I saw this on a few occasions where he made plays that you can't coach. And his baseball IQ for a young player, I think the only thing that's going to make him better is the maturity. As far as hitting, he's a gap hitter with power. I mean, he'll get big. As one negative thing I had to say was one day in BP, I think a home run hitting contest got started somewhere within the group, and he started trying to leave like everybody else. And he had the ability to do it, but his balls was going off the fence. They weren't going over the fence. And he's not a guy that's going to give you that big uppercut swing and trying to create loft. He's short to the ball. He's got elite bat to ball, and he's got a little lift when he wants to. But I just think the only thing that can get in his way is somebody trying to change anything that he does. And I was overwhelmed. I enjoyed every single day going to the ballpark. I wish I had taken some pictures. There's some very nice gentlemen that work at the interest for the media, older guys, and we talk every time I go there. And hey, Shooty, hey, what's going on, Will? And then so a couple of days I came in before the trade deadline. He said, "Oh, who are you after?" I said, "Just one guy." And I'm just kidding. So the next day I come in, it's like 4 of them. They start grabbing me, talking about, "Call the police. Call the police. You got us." Yeah, I did, man. It was great. But I enjoyed the hospitality there. Have a great ballpark there in Fort Wayne. And
It's the Padres high A.
Yeah, and when I tell you this, when the call was made to find out where I was and what we were going to do, just for all scouts, man. I mean, I feel you. You go all year long. You put in reports. You may not be part of. I was fortunate enough. This is the organization I was covering at this level, so I had a little more familiarity. So there was some emphasis. But we've got guys in the front office that go and get detail and stuff that you don't get in the computer. And you also have guys like when you start talking about finding someone to talk to in the Dominican Republic and what kind of kid this was, you can't find that in the computer. So it's wholesale. It takes a host of people to get a guy like this. And the players we gave up, man, nobody wanted to do that, but it had to be done.
Quickly, we were together doing TV here in San Francisco all the way till Sunday. Talks really started on Wednesday, Thursday. Trade was done on Friday. Were you sent back to see him at all from the time that we did TV to the time of the trade?
I don't talk shop about where and when. Like a lot of times when you ask me where I'm at, I said I'm in the bushes. And I learned that from this organization, being a scout and trying to get information. And they were like, it's harder to get it, easier to get in the U.S. Mint. And I respect that. It was just fortunate during the time that needed to be, where decisions need to be made. I was in the right place at the right time, and it's great. But yeah, I just say I'm very fortunate to be a part of that process.
All right, I'll see you at 3:30.
Sounds good to me.
Kevin Frandsen joins us from our nation's capital. Franny does television for the Washington Nationals. How are you, my friend?
What's up, guys? What's up, Shooty?
Hey, Franny. Loan me that rack, and man, they wouldn't have enough money to pay me, man, if my dude looked as good as yours. What?
Oh, look at that. That's some nice payload, right?
Hey, look, I gotta. Hey, you don't have to go back.
He has no problem admiring himself.
Right.
Some of them guys on the break go back there and take shots in the back of their head so they stuff look like yours, man. Hey, but look, man, on a real note, hey, man, really happy for you, man. You've done a great job, doing a great job. Proud of you, man. Be pulling for you. Keep doing your thing, man. All right,
love seeing you, man. Keep up your great work. I love it.
Thank you, bro.
As we always say, one of the great San Jose State Spartans of all time. Franny, it is good to see you. How is the family? How is everybody there in D.C.?
Good. The fam went to Idaho this morning, so that's part of it. They're getting closer to the Sac area, so it's nice. Went for a little vacation, but yeah, everything's good, man. You gotta grind it through some things over here in DC, but
what happened to the rebuild? What happened? Like it was like the Juan Soto trade, got all this incredible talent. Rizzo's doing it again, and then it just kind of fell off.
Yeah, well, I think that was the part of it, right? Is that it almost felt like it ended at that, right? Instead of just continuing to build from it. And we are where we are. A lot of organizations go through this, and you got to grind through it. Have some positive days. I think when everyone's going to say injuries have hurt. Injuries have kind of hurt, not greatly, I would say here. So we're not under that. It's just like, look, it's hard to build depth. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Quality depth is what we all strive to see every day, and fans, organizations, and it's hard to do. It's not an easy thing. And the teams that have done that over year after year, and you look at the Brewers, what they're doing. I mean, they're fantastic at doing it. It's like it's hard to stay at that level and continue to develop like the way they are. So, that's where we're at right now. It's a little tough right now, but you're also getting the experience of things, right? You're getting the experience of James Wood. He's going through the experience right now of struggling quite a bit, which is good though, because everything's been kind of easy, and we're watching the guy like really not change, right? Like it's the same thing every day, same human. And that's always a good thing. And so when he gets out of this thing, hopefully it's unfortunately for you guys today, it's going to be it's one of those things. But to see Nick Kurtz and James Wood on the field at the same time, I think is pretty exciting if you think about it.
Yeah, a lot of young talent. You're going to get to see the Nick Kurtz show not too many times in baseball where a guy's player of the month and rookie of the month. I mean, you you had a decorated college career. You remember what it was like to come out of college and go battle. I mean, this guy's come out of college, and before you know it, blink of an eye, he's one of the best in Major League Baseball. You can speak to how hard it is to hit at this level. And, I mean, since May 20th, this is 50 games.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting 344, 22 bombs, 55 RBIs. You talk about it doesn't look like there's been much of a transition. I mean, it's not this easy.
I still love it that we were just in Houston a little bit ago, and Julia Morales, who she's like, put it into perspective, Nick Kurtz, Cam Smith. Last year, basically, a month prior, we're playing in the ACC tournament against each other. I'm like, damn, that's hard to believe. Like, you think about that perspective.
They were taking
crazy. Yeah, well, we hope they were. I think Nick was for sure at Wake Forest. Let's not sit there and say that at Florida State you had this great education there. So, shout out to Buster on that one. He made it all right. But it's fascinating to watch guys like that, right? Like what Nick's doing, especially because I watch a lot of the games. Like, I mean, when I go home, it's fun to listen to Dallas, Jenny, Chris, all this stuff. You're like, my God, this is what it's supposed to be about. And, have a passion and true enthusiasm about an individual. My goodness. Like taking hater deep, left on left. You don't see that. That's some comical, stuff on that. So I look at this whole thing and I'm going, if what Nick can do and go forward from where we're at right now and continue this, what do we have? Like, it's different than Giambi. It's different than everybody wants to throw out comps and all. It's different. This is special.
Yeah, I haven't liked any of the comps because people.
I have not either.
People want to go. First of all, you can't go Giambi. Giambi was a PED guy. It just did. We love Jason Giambi. We love having him on and everything. I played against him in college back in the day. Giambi was a PED guy, so that's not a comp. And then Jim Thome was a dead pull, even though times in Tome's career he did hit for average. He was a dead pull guy. So to more, it's almost like.
And they weren't the first baseman that he is.
No, and it's almost like he's Sean Casey and Jim Thome.
Right.
Casey was 6'4", hit for average to go the other way, but Casey wasn't leaving it the way Kurt's foul pole to foul pole power. But the one thing you're going to notice when you really watch him up close, Steve Sachs has been great about this, who I do the shows with up in Sacramento. He's like, there are times when Nick Kurtz hits like a middle infielder. And Sean Casey comes to mind. How many big guys did that? I mean, that's why the comps are not good. It's really hard. I want to ask you about Jacob Wilson because obviously you knew a lot about getting a lot of base hits and hitting for average. It's tough to sit out when you get hit in that wrist and the forearm and you have a fracture. What advice would you give to somebody like Jacob Wilson who starts the All-Star game? He's having an all-world campaign. Everybody thought he was going to be the Rookie of the Year. What advice do you give about watching and learning? Because that's all you can do right now.
Well, the cool thing is that he's been around his whole life, right? So like he's watched and learned his whole life. And I feel like the perspective that you could have is, you don't take it for granted. Like you watch Jacob Wilson play and you're like, that guy doesn't take a day for granted. Like you don't want to call it Steph Curry, but I mean, he very Steph Curry-like as far as like being around dad all the time at the field. And then you watch a guy take it to another level because it's like he appreciates it. You see it. Honest to God, my advice is always like, make sure you are 100%. Because we fight as athletes to play, right? And to be out there. And it's like part of the a badge of honor playing hurt. I played hurt in Philly for 2 months with a stress fracture in my leg. And I don't think I could ever do that again, if I went back on it. But at the same time, I'm going, that was my only opportunity really to play every day. And so with this, like Jacob, it's not about like taking something for granted. It's taking your body and your athletic ability. Don't take it for granted on that. Like you putting yourself out there at risk. He already did, right? Like coming off, out of the All-Star game, playing with it, and then going on the IL, and you're like, man, how'd you do that? I don't get it. So it's do it with open eyes and have a complete, I don't know, like understanding of like put yourself, like be exhausted at the end of the day. Be exhausted. Being a guy that was, spent a year, rehabbing my Achilles and being at the big league game every day. It was exhaust myself thinking about situations. because every situation that you are involved in is something that you can compute. Well, same thing goes on the side. And, areas that you could watch and stuff you could watch, thinking about plays that, ahead and try to make your mind busy that way is a huge part of it.
Yeah, and I think about where we are. Well, we got about 48 games left, and you're going to have guys getting opportunities. And, what you're going to see here with the Athletics, and I know you follow us, is you're really starting to see this core start to grow up in front of our eyes. And you're trying to find as much pitching. Everybody is in that same boat, but you're seeing what in the next few years, how good this offense is going to be. And you're led by a veteran like Brent Rooker. But just talk about taking the advantage as a young player. You still want to win games. You want to learn how to win at this level, but you also have to be a little selfish too, because it's about your numbers and how you're going to have a job for next year.
Well, that's one thing that I've talked about up here, especially in what's been going on in recent days. Last month or so, as far as the change around here, and I look at this and I'm like, man, every young guy is like, this is your tryout. There's a lot of guys that you could honestly say that are getting an opportunity here that probably wouldn't be getting it other places. So take advantage of that. And, almost like related to like a scholarship, right? Like where, are you a guy that just gets the money and goes, to a class here and there, barely does anything in school? You got 4 years left after you're done? Or do you take advantage of that scholarship where you play your, off, and then you go out, you get your classes done, you're graduating? It's like 2 for 1. Well, this is that opportunity. This is that scholarship moment right here that you can either take advantage of, or other teams are gonna be like, they didn't want it. And that's not a good thing to have, right? Like have a vantage point or a scout report, a comp on that of saying that, well, it doesn't look like this guy cares for it. It just feels like he's given it. You don't want that. It's playing, balls to the wall the whole time, and understanding you're going to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. And this is the time to do it. I think if you're doing it hard, if you're doing it thinking ahead. I think there's a lot of similarities between the teams as far as what you see, young guy and youth, the youthful opportunities that they have.
Mackenzie Gore, uber talented, talking about that Juan Soto trade with the San Diego Padres. Were you shocked, or maybe you weren't, that his name was being brought up at the trading deadline? Because all of us thought he's just one of those guys that the Nats are building around for the future.
Well, you got 2 years left of eligibility. I'm still sticking with that scholarship thing. Well, you got 2 years left of control on him.
How's his nil money doing?
Yeah, I mean, his nil money's damn good. I'll say that. Better than that $20 you get on the road, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Can you make it? It's all good. I wasn't surprised. I think when you look at where the Nationals are, and you had to listen. I think there's a couple of two untouchables when you look at it, maybe. And he's not one of them because of being so close to free agency. He's not one, I don't think, that would really tempt a extension part. He's going to get to free agency and see how it may. So I look at it with Mackenzie, like, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked either that he was here at the end of it, because you know what, he's really good. And if they didn't, I love the fact that if you don't get your price on it, you don't need to trade him. And they didn't do that. So there's no panic on that, and you appreciate that. But yeah, he's got to, at the same time now, like we look past, this whole thing, and we're, he started on Wednesday last week. So the day before the trade deadline, we had an off day on Thursday, and this is the first start after. Like, he's got to get it going. He hasn't been good for a while. It's about like 6 starts since he's had something where it looks really like Mackenzie Gore. He's got to have that, the finishing last 2 months like he did last year, where he closed out, where he was fantastic. Because I still think there needs to be a lot more growth as far as the consistency for Mackenzie as he goes forward.
Let's end on this. I still get the Bob Carpenter scorebook. I mean, Bob Carpenter has been around, my entire, you think about existence in baseball, and one of the legendary voices and all the different years he's been with different teams, but now your partner and one of the great voices of our game. What are these final days going to be like for this legend?
I think it'd be tough, for Bob. I mean, like, he's been doing this for, I think he said 40 years, as far as the whole thing goes. And, we all have routines. We all have all those things. And, that's going to be gone after this. So I think the you're hoping that the team plays better in the final months, so you don't have to feel like it's a dreadful last few weeks for him on that. I think that's a huge part of it, but walking away on your own terms, I think, is what every athlete wants. Well, same thing goes for us broadcasters too, right? Is you want to be able to walk away on your own terms, and he's getting to do that. So I'm excited that we get to do that for him and provide that, the last, month, 2 months of great work, hopefully, and passionate work. So, it's gonna hurt for him though. I know that because he loves it. He loves coming there.
All right. Are you fully committed to do the MC at the San Jose State baseball golf tournament?
When?
Oh, wow.
No one's told me that.
They're trying to suck me in too, by the way.
Yeah, no one's talked to me about it yet. Hey, Brad, you got to get on that.
I believe they're trying to make it a you-me combo.
Oh, dude, if that was it, I think
it was supposed to be Langston and myself last year, but it was Parents' Weekend at Cal. My wife was like, "Yeah, I know you love Ferraro, but you got to go be with the kids." And they were freshmen at the time. Right? This year, I'm getting reports it's you and me doing the Dog and Pony show. You have not been contacted?
I have not been contacted. If I was contacted, it was at night one time, and I don't remember that, and that's not good. So,
all right.
But you know where we're at.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
You look good. You look svelte.
Hey, maybe we'll bring you in on like Zoom.
Dude, that'd be funny. That would actually be a good bit.
But we want you to come home. Come on. You're a San Jose State Bellarmine Prep star, Bay Area star. We love having you back home.
It seems like it's so far away from that. So I'm a Bay Area native. We'll always love it. Love watching the Oakland Athletics. You know what I mean? I can't believe I said that.
It's okay. Everybody freaks out about it. It's gonna happen.
I don't, because that's what I always call them. Because that's childhood, man.
It's gonna happen. All right, buddy. You be well. We'll talk to you. All
right, Towny. See you, dude.
Yeah, I can't say, and I'll get to the ID in a second, and I'll break in a second. I'm making a point. I can't say this enough, and I've said it based off my time with the Raiders. And now I see people do it, and they say Oakland, they go, oh, people, it's going to happen. You don't think like when the Rams left St. Louis, you don't think when the Rams left L.A. to St. Louis, they said it, and then when the Rams moved back from St. Louis to L.A., they didn't say St. Louis, or that the Chargers, they didn't have the problem with the San Diego, no, L.A., it's going to happen. And then we're all going to have to get over and just realize that there are going to be people who are Philadelphia Athletics, and there are people who are Kansas City Athletics. My grandfather was the manager of the 1960 Kansas City Athletics. Will always be a part of my family. Then you're going to have the Oakland Athletics. Then you're going to have guys who just play in Sacramento, and they'll just be Athletics. And then you're going to have guys who play in Vegas, and they'll be Las Vegas Athletics. But we have to stop the madness of, oh my God, someone said Oakland, and then they're going to rip it and put it on Twitter. And then, it's so tired. You can say Oakland Athletics. It existed. It happened. Many, what is it, 57 years? It happened. But so did Philadelphia. So did Kansas City. So did Sacramento. It's okay. We're all going to move on as human beings. We're all going to survive. It's how life works. But too many times I've seen people freak out. We got to stop freaking out, folks. We're almost a year into this thing. We're only is there 48 games left? Is that what it is? There's only 48 games left. And then before you know it, we're going to blink. We'll be at the winter meetings. Boom. Christmas, New Year's, boom. Pitchers and catchers. Oh, my God. We'll be into year 2 before you know. All right, coming up next, we got Hot Take Tuesdays, and Eric Martins is going to join us. Let's pause for station identification right here on A's Cast. More coming up right here on A's Cast Live.
2025 All-Star Brent Rooker joined Towny on A's Cast Live to reflect on becoming an All-Star for the second time in 3 years.
And I walked in that locker room in Seattle and saw my jersey and saw the rest of the jerseys that were there. And, it's kind of like one of these things doesn't belong here. And that's probably mine. I didn't feel like I was the same caliber of player as the rest of the guys in that clubhouse. So to be able to do it again 2 years later, just continues to help me build confidence and know that I can go out there day in, day out and compete at a pretty high level.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'sCast. That's athletics.com/A'sCast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'sCast today.
For just $25, fans can sit in the general admission outfield grass for all regular season home games. Tickets for that day's game will open up daily at 9 a.m. for purchase at athletics.com/lawn. Sign up to receive A's alerts to receive a text the first morning of each home series as a reminder. For more information, visit athletics.com/lawn. A's All-Star Jacob Wilson joined Towny on A's Cast Live to talk about being named the starting shortstop for the American League in this year's All-Star game in Atlanta.
Can't even describe it. They're just, it's everything you've ever wanted as a baseball player, to be able to hear those words. And, a countless amount of thank yous that, go out to the teammates, coaches, the people that you have in your corner on a daily basis. And it was a crazy day for me. And, super grateful, super thankful for this year so far. And, just being able to, really excited to take it in the second half.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
When it comes to knocking it out of the park, nobody beats Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is a 7-time Triple Crown Award winner, Ford Motor Company's highest honor for being the best in customer satisfaction in sales, service, and finance. Step up to the plate for our biggest selection of new Ford models, including the legendary F-150, on sale now. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters in the Folsom Auto Mall. FolsomLakeFord.com.
That ball is out of here.
A's Cast Live continues from the studio. Here's Chris Townsend.
Are we in studio today? Is that what we're being called, in studio?
I just forgot to change it out and put the NBC one in there. So that's on me.
Eric Martins is going to join us. We taped him earlier this week. What else we got?
And then we got Johnny and Chris Carey live from our nation's capital coming up momentarily. I mean, they're there.
I got to tell you.
We're just making them wait.
If there's somebody that on our broadcast team that I would actually vote for, I think there's no question it'd be Johnny Doskow. Because
he's
I believe he's honest. I believe he's caring, and he would actually do what's best for the people, not himself.
Thank you, Towny. That's nice.
Oh, you can hear that?
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know they could hear that. You didn't tell me they were there. I do believe that.
Thank you, buddy.
Chris Carey is all about Chris Carey. Dallas Braden clearly likes Dallas Braden. I'm a dirtbag, so you couldn't vote for me. I literally would abuse my power. I'm admitting it. Like I'd be dirty. I'd be a dirty politician. Like trying to think, like on the broadcast team, you'd be the guy. If I could vote for anybody, you'd be
Steve Sachs looks like an all-American look. Steve Sachs got the look. I don't have the look. Steve Sachs has the look.
You don't need to have the look anymore. This isn't the Kennedy era anymore. This is not. And Steve Sachs is the kind of person, I can tell you now, that everything falls through the cracks with him. Now, You are too, Johnny, but I'm going to have the right aides around to make sure that you don't forget your passwords or lose your computers. You're going to need help. You're going to need help. But if I was to vote for anybody on this broadcast team,
thank you.
It would
Appreciate
be you, my friend. How are you guys?
We're good. We're in the nation's capital. We're going to do some. Tomorrow's the day we're going to go to. If I can get him up, we're going to go to the Washington Monument. We're going to go Lincoln Memorial. We're going to do all the DC stuff tomorrow. Yep.
One of the greatest times I ever had in my life. So I got to go because when we were kids, you didn't make the trip to the Capitol and deep, right? We didn't do that. So I was working for the Raiders. We were playing the Ravens. I took the train down and I scouted out a full day. I had a full day off, did as many Smithsonians, did all that, stood in front of the White House, and then scouted out. And then we did the family trip and brought the kids out. It was one of the great trips of my life that I'll always remember with my kids. And we toured the White House. We toured the Capitol. And we just did everything. We did D.C. for like 4 days. D.C., I wish every American could really go there and take the time. You got to be 3, 4, even a week. All the museums, all the Smithsonians, they're all free. It's it's a free vacation, basically. We stayed at the Willard, which was a killer old school hotel where so many of the great dignitaries from around the world have stayed. You go into the White House. The White House is like a museum. It's absolutely incredible. So I recommend anybody if you get that opportunity. Great restaurants too, by the way.
Towny, how old were the kids when you did that?
Juniors in high school.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Love that.
No, it might have been even before that. But anyway, they were younger, so they were studying history at the time, right? So and then after that we went to Philadelphia, then went to New York. It was like our one big educational trip. The rest of the time it's sitting by a pool or at a beach. But we did one educational trip because you got to face it. California kids, there's a lot of people who grow up on the West Coast who never get to DC. It's sad.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No.
So you guys go experience as much as you possibly can.
Yep. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. How are you doing over there? What's going on over there?
We're in San Francisco. It's cold. It doesn't really feel like summer.
True.
We got 48 games left?
Yeah.
Got 48 games left.
I know, man.
And I told Commander Cody before we start this thing, he says his hot take is on Nick Kurtz. And I told him the only way you can have a hot take on Nick Kurtz right now is it has to be negative.
Because everything else is realistic for him to do. Exactly.
Yeah, anything else, you're just all the numbers tell you how great he is, right? If you want a hot take, you'd have to be like, hey, Nick Kurtz is going to go for his next 21.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Now, do you have the stones to do that?
Not on this
A's
one.
Cast Live?
I do not. No, I'm going full Johnny. Everything's positive on.
Hey, Angel Hernandez, remember? Don't forget that.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but I also said San Diego Padres would go in the tank. That was a negative, and they haven't gone in the tank.
I said the Astros would too. How's that working out?
Yeah, true.
It's you know what? I think the Padres are going to be kind of interesting here. They've added a lot of people, a lot of mix. I know they added to the bullpen and everything. JP Sears had a rough first outing yesterday. Yeah. I'm real curious to see how this Dodgers-Padres thing comes down the stretch. I'm very curious. We'll be curious to see, the teams that added a lot, whether it was 33 relievers traded. It'll be interesting to see the teams who added more versus some of the teams who didn't and see how they, do you stay with your chemistry, what you have, what got you there, or do you remake and do so much, like to see who that works for and who that doesn't? Because remember, we're just not adding athletes; you're adding personalities into clubhouses.
That's
you're
exactly
different dynamics.
Funny you say that because I asked Kotze about that today on the interview. I said people take for granted the fact that chemistry in the clubhouse changes. How do you navigate that? Like that's the one thing. It's like these guys; these are relationships. These guys are brothers, and they're gone now, and new guys come in. It's challenging. I think people don't think about that much, So anyway,
all right. Ready to rock?
Ready for the open?
All right.
Every once in a while, you hear a really good sports hot take.
Mark this and remember what I told you. The Yankees will not win the World Series.
Not only will Brent Rooker be an all-star, Brent Rooker will be in the Home Run Derby this year.
In June, the Astros will start to dominate.
Then you hear some really bad hot takes.
The St. Louis Cardinals are going to win the NL Central. Can't book it.
The Chicago Bears will win more games in September than the Chicago White Sox.
I think Nick Kurtz is going to have a 3-homer game in the short porch, Yankee Stadium.
Well, on A's Cast Live, all takes are hot takes. It's time for Hot Takes Tuesday with Chris Townsend, only on A's Cast Live.
The San Francisco Giants will have a better winning percentage than the San Francisco 49ers this year.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
So, looking at, the Niners being under 500 this year.
Is that your hot take?
No, I just had
Okay.
the whole Chicago Bear thing made me think about that.
Yeah, I'll come up with
I
one
do
during-
kind of like that, though. The end of Niner, what do they call Niner Empire or whatever the hell they want to call it. It ends this year, baby.
I
500.
can see that. The Steelers win more games than Paul Skeens does this year.
Ooh. All right, gentlemen, what do you got? What do you got from DC?
All right, well, here's mine. I'll go first. I think that, and look, the Nationals bullpen is decimated. I mean, you get to their bullpen, you're going to score a bunch of runs. My hot take is A's related. I believe the A's will have a 15-run game this series. They'll win a game 15-4, 15-3, whatever it is. The bats are going to come out and they're going to get to this bullpen, and it's going to be a rout. And they need one. They need a rout. They need a game. They need a laugher. And then we're going to have one of those. What's that?
3 games. One of them is 15 runs.
Yes. 3 games, one of them is 15 runs. And
can we go Little League World Series, go Mercy Rule, and get the hell out?
Right? Yeah, I just want to see. I want to see the A's bury this team because this team is reeling right now. So I would love to see the A's come here and do some damage.
I like it.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
JJ Bleday will have 10 hits or more on this road trip.
He's hot. You don't get to carry the 4 from Sunday, though.
You don't.
No.
This road trip alone.
Okay. Wow. 10, huh?
I mean, Bleday is.
But Bleday's got to get the at bats. It's why it's a hot take. Is you're not sure he's going to get that. You're not sure he's playing every day.
He's cleaning up today, though.
It's in the cleanup spot.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of the tough thing where, Colby Thomas hasn't hit, but he hasn't got regular playing time. It's like how do you Cortez not playing today? Well, Cortez has been playing well, so
he's been hitting, yeah.
At bats are tough. Shea Langelier's leading off today. Who knew? All right, I like it. What was that? 10 hits on this roadie?
10 hits or more. Yeah,
10 hits or more. 6 games.
Correct. DC and Baltimore.
All right.
I saw this last night and I did some research. Fangraphs has Nick Kurtz as the leading first baseman in WAR, which is pretty impressive because he hasn't played as many games as Matt Olson and all those guys. So I looked at Baseball Reference. The only guy trailing him, or he's trailing, is Matt Olson. So my hot take is Nick Kurtz will lead all Major League first basemen in WAR at the end of the season.
That's kind of a hot take.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
good.
leading right now.
And on F4, not B WAR, F4.
Okay,
Fangraphs takes in
He'll
defense,
take over
right?
Baseball Reference too. What's that?
Does Fangraphs is they're both? I mean, they both have their own calculating systems.
Yes,
but
yeah.
F4 is more defensive oriented than
So he's 3-2 on Fangraphs and he's 3-6, I believe, on Baseball Reference.
So he's got to lead both B WAR and F4, or you're wrong.
For my take here, yes. I want him leading both.
Okay. I wanted to pave the way for that whole you add a bunch and it changes the dynamic. I want to bury somebody. I don't like them.
What do you got?
I root against them.
Okay.
They can take their stupid crickets. They can take their rain. They can take their drizzle, and they talk about how pretty it is. And every single time I go there, water is falling out of the sky. I think it's highly overrated city. It's now dirty and all the different issues that they got. It's ending, baby. One time they've been to the playoffs in how many years? Your Seattle Mariners and Jerry DiPoto.
They've been there once.
It's 54% of the time.
Since 2001, they've been there once.
Because look out for my Rangers and Bruce Bochy. I'm going to say right now the Seattle Mariners missed the postseason again.
Oh, that's a hot take.
You hey, Scott Service has got to go. Mariner great Dan Wilson is here. They're still playing the same kind of baseball.
He's almost 54%.
Almost 54%.
That must kill you on the inside with your favorite superstar center fielder patrolling the outfield with Seattle.
Oh, yeah. He's superstar.
Second half player.
Hey, don't
Good-looking ball
worry.
player.
Aaron Judge is back. Kick Cal Rowley off to the side for that MVP. Mariners will not make the postseason, and it will be another dry year. They'll be watching it with us again.
Towny, I don't know if that is going to age well. I just don't know. I just don't know about that.
Oh, they got all this new offense. They're just 5-5 in their last 10.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Huh.
That's why they call Hot Take Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm not here to.
Don't sleep on the Guardians voter.
I'm not
They're
here.
coming too.
I'm not here to go, hey, the Tigers are going to win the Central. I mean, I'm giving you a hot take.
Yeah, Cody. Red Sox will be. I don't know. Red Sox.
That is still true. They are way better without Devers, and the Giants stink.
Hey, by the way,
Stay hot, Pirates.
Who still is in first place in the AL East?
That'd be the Blue Jays.
Huh. Remember,
that's right. You
48 hours after the last out of the Yankee game, whatever that is, within 48 hours, Aaron Boone will no longer have a job with the Yankees.
That's a hot take.
Remember that. Remember that hot take.
Yeah.
How's it looking right now? Did you have a good time in South Beach?
Yeah. Not really. No. Didn't have a good time in South Beach. They got crushed, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they got swept.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, have a wonderful call today. We will
see you guys.
Take care. Hey, have a good time touring our nation's capital.
Thank you. Okay. Looking forward to it.
We're really excited.
Okay, that's not creepy.
Yep.
That's not creepy
See ya.
at all. Not creepy.
That's how I had the power to kick him.
All right, Eric Martins, who not only is a third base coach, but he runs the Athletics infield. Infield play has been so much better for the Athletics. Join me in Sacramento, and we wanted to play it for you now here on A's Cast Live. Now joining us here on A's Cast, Eric Martins. He not only does third base coach for the Athletics, he's also the man in charge of the defense and the infield defense. How are you?
I'm great. It's finally good to be back on this show. I mean, it's been a minute, so I've missed you guys.
Yeah, that's well. You know what? We want to highlight some defense because the numbers. I mean, you play good defense, it gives you a chance to win. Since July 18th, the A's have only 3 errors. That's the fewest in baseball, and only 1 fielding. What does that mean to you?
I mean, these guys have been working. You know, I mean, it's about putting in that work and staying consistent with it. You know, and these guys have done a good job with it this year. You know, we got a lot of moving parts. We got a lot of guys moving to different positions. You know, with Jacob having been out for a while, we've rotated Shoe all over the diamond, and you know, so it's been good to see some consistency with these guys. But it's a testament to the work that they've been doing all year since spring. What we preach: you're coming out, getting your work in every single day, doing your routine, taking your ground balls, and doing it with effort and with sense of urgency.
All right, something when I hear it all the time, and I hear the A's are built on slug, and I just go, okay. Can we be built on defense and pitching? Because that's what, to me, defense is a part of your DNA. Defense is not it's always about skill. It's got to be about who you are. It's a mindset that we are going to be good on defense. And I admire you so much for working with these guys every single day. So as much as everybody wants to elevate and celebrate, play me good defense and you give me a chance to win every night.
I tell you what, man, being the infield coach, that's what you want, right? You want some guys that can go out and defend, and, you know, we don't have to build up here and, you know, come in ready to go and they have an idea what they're doing. And we have some of those guys, and we have guys that we've had to make better. So, I mean, for me, I love both of it. I love getting a guy that maybe hasn't been known for his defense, but see him get better. You get Miguel Andujar over here and put him at third base, and he was nothing short of spectacular over there playing and being comfortable over there. So, you know, you're seeing guys get better. Urias is having a great defensive year where he's been in the last couple of years. Gio's steady. Schumann is just doing whatever he needs to do and asking whatever we ask of him. And you bring in Darryl and you see the work that he did last year, how he improved and just doing it up here. So it's fun to see.
How proud are you as a coach? Because that's truly what you're doing. You're teaching every single day you're working with these guys to watch a player just get better. And you know how hard he worked. And you guys work out there and you put a lot of sweat in before the game. Just how proud does that make you feel?
Extremely proud. I mean, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? I don't want any of the accolades. I don't want any of the attention. I want to see them get better. But me seeing that is my accolade to myself, you know, and the work that they want to do and them wanting to come out is even the bigger testament to putting together a program that they enjoy doing and want to come out and do every single day. So, I mean, I sit back and I watch these guys now, and it makes me proud to see how much better they've gotten over the years.
How interesting is it how nimble Nick Kurtz is for a guy his size?
I mean, the kid's a specimen. I mean, I call him a kid, and he's every bit of 6'5", 240 pounds.
He's
and
a big kid.
I sit there, and he's just basically resting his elbow on my head. But you know what? This kid is unbelievable. I mean, he can move. He moves well. He's very flexible. He's more athletic than people give him credit to. Exactly. I don't think people are sleeping on his athletic ability anymore. And even on the bases, he can run. He can score from first. He can score from second on a base hit. So he runs the bases well. So you're seeing the evolution of the total package of what Nick Kurtz is.
How tough is it when you see Jacob Wilson, Max Muncy, hand, forearm, whatever you want to call it, the hand type issue? Because, you're working so hard with these guys on the infield to see them go down with that. It's just, it's tough to watch.
It is. It is for me because you were starting to kind of see the infield form together of what it could look like for years coming. Max was getting comfortable at third base. Jacob was improving slowly but surely, and we were able to kind of put him in different positions now because he was moving a little bit better. And then, the other guys as well. But those two, it hurts because you saw the unity that they had.
Yeah.
They played together for so long since in high school and them communicating out there. So that was fun to watch. And, watching Muntz get so much more comfortable at third base was easy. It was good for me to be able to move Jacob Wilson up over a little bit more because knowing that Max can cover a little bit more ground. So it makes positioning a lot easier for me when I see Max get comfortable and seeing the range that he has over there.
The thing about, I know we're old dogs and we talk about what it used to be like, but, back in the day when you saw Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker all those years together, right? It was like just sweet music. And Ryan Sandberg, unfortunately, just passed away, the Hall of Famer, but you think of Sean Dunston, Ryan Sandberg, combinations of guys that were with each other. So what you're talking about, left side of the infield, we're seeing Jacob and Max, and you got to play together for a long time. There's something about that communication.
No, without a doubt, especially left side of the infield. When we had Chapman Simeon here.
Yeah.
Simeon can just go more up the middle a little bit more because he knew Chappie was going to cover some ground, and just finding those in between balls, right? Knowing and them communicating, hey, I'm playing over in the hole, or Willie telling Max, hey, I'm playing more up the middle, so I'm going to need you to get a couple of those balls in the 5-6 hole. And the more you play together and see where each other's playing, it makes it that much easier. There's no second guessing, there's no hesitation. You're just going after the ball.
Now, also, one of your duties is arguably the most brutal in all of baseball, the third base coach. Nobody applauds you when a run scored. People just get mad when you get a guy thrown out. But the job is so interesting because you've got to learn everybody's arm. The opposing team, you got to learn everybody's arm. You go to a different ballpark, you got to know how the ball bounces in the outfield. Right. There's so much prep that goes into being a third base coach. Not a lot of people ever talk about that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the first thing that I need to know is the outfielder's arms, right? So I need to know how well they throw coming in, how well they throw going to their left, to their right. Under pressure, are they guys that kind of get a little skittish? Should we put pressure on them? And that's just for the outfield arms. And then it goes deeper into that when I'm making a decision whether I'm going to score a run. It's who's on deck. I mean, how are they swinging the bat? Is he struggling a little bit? A little bit further than that, who do we have in the bullpen available? Do I need to push across another run to help our bullpen out a little bit, or are we going to have, who we had before and be able to lock it down? So there was a lot of thought process going on once the ball's hit, or even before that, right? So it's fun. It's the closest thing to playing and get your heart racing. I sit there, man, and I get some good sends, and you're just excited inside. I mean, I don't show it, but your heart's beating. You get a guy thrown out, you got to live with it. You know what I mean? You make your decision, and you got to stay convicted in your decision, and you live and die by it sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm ultra aggressive and to a fault at times, but I'm also conservative when I feel a certain way about the hitter who's coming up. Like if I got Brent Rooker coming up, or I got Nick Kurtz coming up, I'm not going to roll the dice and try to get a guy thrown out of the plate because these guys are swinging the bat pretty well right now. So there's a lot of different things that go into it, but it's really one of those positions it's the funnest. It's the closest to playing.
I've never heard that. It's the closest to playing. I love that. And I think about also, like, how's the offense going? Like, if the offense hasn't been rolling, sometimes you got to be a little more of a risk taker.
You know what? I've seen that in the past with other third base coaches, and it's never really panned out well. When you get emotional, you try to make things happen. I mean, there's been times where I've tried, and I have a couple times, but I don't try to rely on that just because you don't want to just get a guy thrown out by 25 feet because you're trying to push the envelope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to stick with the process and trust that the offense is going to be able to get that run in from third base less than 2 outs. So I try not to get caught up in that. There has been times where, you know what, it would have been a bang one. I could have been conservative here. We've rolled the dice a couple times. We've been successful most of the time. Got thrown out a couple times, but you know what? You can't get caught up in that because you start making those decisions. Next thing you know, you end up with no runners in scoring position, and you're in the same boat that you were before. So,
well, the thing I always think about too is that you're forcing multiple people to make plays.
Absolutely.
Right? They have to make the throws, whether it's the outfielder hitting the cutoff man or not. And how many times do we see the catcher's mitt is not designed for that one hop? Yeah. It's not a first baseman's glove. It's not an infielder's glove. Yeah. It's a pancake that you got. So we see how many times do we see bang, bang play, but the catchers have a hard time because they know the runner's coming. They've got a concert, and they boot it all the time too. So you're forcing them to make multiple good throws and good plays.
No, without a doubt. I mean, and those are the ones that I'm probably more aggressive on. The balls in the gap, scoring from first and third. Having two guys have to make good throws to get the out. So knowing who my base runners are, and we have some good base runners. Shea Langoliers being one of the best ones we have. Soderstrom's been good. Rook, on top of it, I had a good one with Rook in Texas where he kept rolling from first base, and they tried to throw Nick out at second, and I rolled him home. So you got to know who your base runner is, right? Guys that are going to be aggressive and not going to stop until I stop them. So, but yeah, I mean, going back to what you said, there's been some plays at the plate where I've sent guys and they made a bad throw to the plate, but it actually helped the catcher be able to get up the line and be able to tag the guy out. If it's a perfect throw at the plate, he's safe. So you live or die with those situations, but the ones in the gaps are exactly the ones you're talking about. Two good throws to get the guy out with a good base runner. I'm going to take that chance most of the time.
Let's end on this. I know one thing is factually true. There's never been a good, bad defensive team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're seeing it across the league right now, unfortunately, with some teams. I'm not going to name the teams that aren't playing very good defense. One of those teams got exposed in the World Series last year.
Yeah, and getting exposed right now.
So that's something that we preach, right? We don't have guys that are going to go out and punch a bunch of guys out. We have contact pitchers. We need to make those plays, and we're getting better, consistently getting better, and these guys are getting a lot more action. And so now you're starting to see what we can do as a team. You look up and you look at that 20-game skid that we had. If we would have cut that in half, it'd be a different story right now. Unfortunately, we went to that skid.
Trade deadline would have been different.
It would have been a lot different, right? And it'd be a lot different right now where we could be in these standings and what we would have done in those 10 games and other teams that did. So it's like you look back at that time where everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. We'd pitch well, we wouldn't hit. We wouldn't play good defense. We wouldn't make the big play. A certain ball bounced a certain way. And it was just one of those stretches where you're like, gosh, if we could have just cut that in half, 8, 9, 10 games, it's a different story right now. But, you live with it. You learn from it. These guys have gotten past it and started playing better baseball. So all we can do is finish the way we're going to finish and build for next year as well.
Yeah, change this team's DNA. Let's be a defensive team. Home runs are great. Let's be a defensive team. Hey, I have so much respect for you because we get to see it. We get to see right in front all the hard work that you do with these guys. And obviously the numbers show they're getting better. That's what it's all about. Being a teacher, being a leader as a coach, you're making it happen. Keep doing it. And I just wanted to bring you up here and tell you we're enjoying watching your defense play.
I appreciate it. I enjoy doing it. So thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.